And we're on. Hey YouTube!
Hey YouTube.
The commentary track of us going
Yes.
to Merchant City, because we
Yes.
were just watching it there. The sound's not that bad. Maybe we're just kind of used to it though.
Yeah.
So, but we're still, there's lots of things we kind of want to talk about now. So rather than us watching it, talking about it, anyway, we thought we'd record it
Just go
while
for
we're
it,
talking about it. So if I just go to, okay, it should start with us outside on the street.
Merchant City Music. Actually, a really good shop. Really enjoyed Merchant City Music.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I think I mentioned it and said to the guys on it for film, and he was like, "Totally, aye, no problem." I was like, I only say nice things.
It was worth mentioning the parking outside the shop.
Yes,
If you're parking,
but also
to go
see
to
if you're
any
there
of
as well.
those
That's
shops.
I should probably mention that. I think I have before in a video. There's a police box, like a Doctor Who box, and then
Oh, right.
there's that walkway thing with all the gigs and the bars in it that they
Aye.
didn't put in order. But I suppose it does mean you have to walk the entire thing rather than going, "Oh, it's mad. It's like time I was Ozzy Osbourne there."
But
You
yeah,
can't just go to it.
Parking's remarkably cheaper than it is just round the corner.
Yes, yes.
Really,
Well, it's
a lot
right next to
cheaper.
that shop.
Yeah.
You
And
got
here
to
we
walk.
are at the bases, and what a nice selection it had. That Telecaster bass, just a
Aye.
lovely look at it. It's got the original slab body on it with no contours.
Yeah.
You know it's going to kill your arm after a couple of hours when there's that big red rash.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Hold on, I'm going to try and move that. I'm going to sit back. I'll try and move this mic a bit closer.
Bit closer so you hear me.
I think you can probably hear. Well, we've got the background noise really low. That actually
yeah,
looks a bit like that, doesn't it? I think did I maybe say that in the.
That Ibanez bass, the new headless basses, they actually look really quite nice. They're getting rave reviews.
I kind of wish I was listening to it just now because I can't remember what it was we said about them.
People
They
were,
look mental.
people when it first came out were a bit ooh, but now that you hear them being played, they seem to be really good.
Yeah.
But the selection of basses they had in here was really good and really good prices as well.
Well, I don't want to be. I prefer the shop to Tack Tab, but it's like they've just got the cheaper ones.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean, it's like they don't have as many of the sort of.
they had some nice.
They've
ones,
got
Yamaha basses.
there's a couple there above a grand,
Yeah,
but there's a good few. Is that 229 for that Ibanez Tower? There's a couple in,
yeah.
They look good.
Sort of mid-range prices, mid-range
but
instruments.
aye.
But all good though. That was a nice selection. I keep thinking about that Telecaster bass was really
Yeah, it
nice.
was. We were arguing just now about the two basses. Was that 189, 160, or 189 or something like that? That's
What was the difference? I can't remember.
one of them was longer because you're looking at them. They went right next to each other. Those two there, that black
Yeah.
one and the turquoise one to the left. Oh, I can't
All
remember.
nice basses.
Yes.
There's me touching stuff again.
I think to be fair, it was me that said at that time. But that's a 200 quid bass.
You can't take me anywhere. It's terrible.
That's the one I was talking to someone
That's
earlier on about
189.
the Telecaster input jack. It was a bass. It's bizarre because I was thinking it must have been an acoustic because I remember where I was and well, I was just in the room next door.
It's great. I mean, again, with Ibanez, you always get decent
Aye.
instruments throughout the range.
And Ibanez always do the sort of what I class as an ugly bass, and they always do a sort of 60s one. Look at that. I mentioned that there, the yellow and black one. It's
Nice, isn't it? For 149 quid, I mean, it's probably going to be needing a good bit of setting up done, but it'll be a great wee guitar.
Would you pay 149 for the yellow with a black stripe
I think
rather than paying 119 for the purple one?
well, yeah,
It's 30 quid
I suppose.
that you could give to me to set off.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. That's
Oh.
true, and you could just stick some tape on it, but they were nice guitars.
I'm
well
tempted to
finished.
do that with that Buckycaster,
Aye,
the
put some stripes
Telecaster.
on it.
Put some yellow, just insulating tape on it. I've done one before with competition stripes.
Here we're going into the acoustic room.
Yeah,
I can't remember why, just to point at things.
I think I probably said yuck at the time.
Oh my god, acoustic guitars. No, I've got one of them. We're talking about that. I've got the natural version of that. The Fender Sunran
Yeah.
parlour acoustic, and it's really good, actually, for what it is. And they're quite cheap. There's a lovely wee Gretsch acoustic. They make great acoustic guitars, Gretsch.
Again, these are not expensive.
Yeah.
I was going to say, who's that walked past? It's you.
It's me.
Yeah.
Look, there's a Court. There's another company that are making big noises with their acoustic guitars just now. Excuse the pun. But yeah, Bumblefoot of all people, Roy, that Bumblefoot
Thal,
guy's amazing, but he's all over the Court acoustic guitars just now. That's us looking at the high end Ibanez and expensive guitars for a box, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, even then, you're looking there and it's like, I'm still looking at the interesting ones in there. 219,
Yeah.
269. It's a
That
very,
was they're quite good with the neck pickup in them. You can't really
Yes.
see the neck pickup in there, but it's got a single coil neck
my
pickup.
pal Rab, but I remember buying him an acoustic a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I bought it basically because I liked the idea of it. It's like a wee bent like a single coil that was bent round the inside of the tip. That one was a much more expensive looking one. This was a Westfield or something like that.
Here's some Guild guitars. And they always make, again, great guitars, but they're acoustic.
Yeah, I know. We didn't go into acoustic next to guitar. There is acoustic.
There is an acoustic place where it's full of boxes.
Oh, I've not been in since. I mean, guitar had changed by the lockdown thing. I think they just not. They've sold the ones that were on the shop floor and not put as many up.
It's the same as your people out in internet land, if they're the same as us that don't really get that turned on by acoustic guitars.
I don't know.
Just like, yeah, that's
nice.
Yeah.
I do like it. Yeah.
Me too. I mean, I've got a Gretsch Rancher, which is a brilliant acoustic guitar. It's got a lovely neck, and once I replaced the pickup in it, it was brilliant. Because it also had a really weak pickup when I got it. Strangely.
The
Gretsch.
acoustic?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, I got acoustic with a... sorry, I wasn't listening. I was too busy watching this. I was trying to see what I hadn't seen before.
Here's the bubblegum coloured guitars. I mean, they were actually really nice. The new Fender stuff and the new Squire stuff is really on point, I've been finding.
They had a much bigger range, or differently set out range than the guitar, because all those ones there are just like, yep, here you go.
They've got those Starcasters with the positively phallic heads on them.
Oh, right, yeah.
They really are. There's no other way of viewing them.
I believe I said it's a bit like my Ibanez Blazer. And but see, that's the thing, it's like, going into that shop, it's like, how much money do you have to spend? Oh, sort of under £200 to £400. Have a look at this corner.
And there's a whole selection.
I'm looking, as opposed to being pure.
And they're all okay, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the question asked was, would you pay $119 for the bullet and pay the extra $25 to get the telly?
And then we're going to the more expensive guitars, and that was still Squires.
Yeah, well, so the bottom row's like 200, sub 200, and the top row's sub 400 sort of thing.
But again, it was a nice selection of guitars.
Yeah.
And nothing that made you want to cry into your beer, really, was there?
I wish guitar shops were more like that. When see, 20 years ago when I used to go into sound control and that, it was always, they never had any. They only ever had budget guitars at like £100 to £150 and guitars above £700. Yeah. So if you wanted to spend for your second guitar, that kind of money, 250, 350, for your first off, joined a band and need a guitar that's good enough for gigging. That's
Telecaster with the P90s, the green one for £329. That's actually, I mean, if it's your first guitar, it's a really good guitar to get. Oh look.
Oh, look, we're looking at
the same as the one I've got just now, isn't it? Except I've got the black version of that. No, that's the. Do you know one of your guys was talking about that? Somebody commented one of your videos about a Fender Boxer. He said, "Yes, that's a Boxer."
I see.
That's a Boxer. There you go.
Yeah. I all right.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that when I was there at that time.
Yeah, that's
but I did. I looked him up. I saw someone mention it on Facebook the other day. But when he put that comment, I wasn't sure what he was like saying. It's like.
But as you can see, they're same. Pretty much. I mean, they really are. I think the control layout might be slightly different.
They're Japanese, though, aren't they? That's why they're
significant.
That's why they're £700.
Yeah.
Again,
I think the top one's a bolt on as well, as opposed to it being through.
All right.
And there's more Squires. They're like that. Do you know? I think they're great guitars for the money. So we get these P90s in them are actually really good.
Oh, they're sort of they're not actually P90s, are they? They're different shape.
They advertise them as P90s, but they sound great. A really nice sound, yeah.
Approximately P90.
Yeah. And there's the Fender wide range.
Yeah.
Pickups.
Actually, Buster's got a. Was read the other day with he's got a Telecaster based knot.
Oh, I did like those ones. Those ones are quite nice. That silver one was quite nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Nah, I'm pointing at that one because I like that one.
These were all the Mexican ones, right? Am I right?
Oh, that's 1100 to 1100. Are they still Mexican at 1100 quid?
Maybe we're at the entry series. What do they call it? The player series or something?
Right. That I don't know. They are 900 quid and stuff.
They're belt sandered in the same place.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what you're saying.
You must actually employ somebody who walks around the factory with a belt sander, just randomly sanding things. The same. That's £100 more now.
Yeah. So up here, we're doing a relic one. Just basically get the shit guy to paint it.
The belt sander guy just runs around your factory belt sanding things.
Basically, you just get forklift drivers up here.
A bad driver.
Yeah. Is up here? Yeah, we're going to work for the Fender Custom Shop as a forklift driver. Oh, I didn't know you had your forklift test. I don't. It's the relic shop I work in.
Look at that one up there. I think we come to that. We'll start talking ill of it soon.
Is that the shiny one?
I think we spoke about this in one of the videos as well. I was still rattled from the Relicon.
Yeah.
that we saw.
Got quite hairy there.
What on earth is going on?
Is that totally exactly the same?
I know,
It's identical.
It's the same belt sander. It's the same guy. He must make the company a fortune with his belt sander.
Oh,
I bet he wears a cape. And there's a Tom Morello strat. Or is it basically the Aerodyne, which was a Japanese
yeah, I don't know what
strat? The one that you see more of is the bass, the Aerodyne bass, and they're really nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the black one there with the riding on it.
Yeah, so that's the Tom Morello
Alright.
signature model, but it's an Aerodyne that's just got his bits on it.
Strange it's expensive, because did he not play with a Honda or something? Was it just made up out of bits that he found in the bin, sort of thing?
I don't know about Tom Morello. I mean, he's really funky as a rhythm guitarist, but I don't understand why he jumps into the crayon bucket when it goes to solos. I mean, he's amazing. What the you doing, Tom?
To be honest, I've not really seen that much of him. I do like him.
I do. He's funky as with that bass player they've got. Great. But the solos that he plays, I can't get my head in it. I don't know what it is.
It's a pure intentionally bad thing. There's that Coronado, as we were calling it.
That was there's two more of those Anus guitars. Is it an Anus? Or is it a belly button? I don't know.
Oh, right. Bird box, basically, isn't it?
Bird box. It does. If a guitar had an arse, that's exactly where it would probably be.
Yeah.
It looks like it's yawning at you. I don't know. Oh, look at that. That was the David Bowie Supro.
Yeah.
You're just getting the top of the body, but these Supro guitars are. I've played one of them, and it felt kind of cheap in my hands. Do you know what I mean? It felt like a GSO basically. That wasn't a particularly finished.
Yeah, but is that maybe authentic?
Yeah, it was.
Because the real ones.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not a badly made copy. It's a good copy of a badly.
Yeah, I'm about to name drop. Are you ready? Snarky Puppy gave Mike one. They gave him one of the guitars, and they gave him something else, and he brought me the guitar, and it was from Supro, and you'd expect it if it's going to be going to a band like Snarky Puppy to go like that. Oh, let's make sure this is.
No.
The intonations wasn't even done on it, and the fret ends were all jaggy, and it wasn't great, to be honest with you. But apparently they make excellent amps, and that's where it's. Oh, look.
Oh, it's a
BC Richies were great.
It's like that one there, that greeny turquoise one with the super mega binding.
And the flatulence pickups.
Yeah.
Fishman Fluence.
Fluent pickup.
Yeah. And that's the Schechters up the top with the crazy blood finishes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember which ones we talked about when we did this.
Yeah, I think I was too busy drooling over the BC Richies at the moment. I'm a fan. I have to admit.
There's something about I've got some of the early Japanese ones that play pure amazing, but they don't look like that. They look like they're just made of.
They're one of these companies that are the problems they're on because they released so many cheap, nasty guitars.
Yeah. But the thing is, they're
the same shape as the really, really good ones.
Yeah, but they're quite expensive. They're quite striking when you get like a Warlock shape, but so you don't want to detract from it by putting too much on it. Like I painted mine like a zebra and it looks rubbish, but on these, it just makes it even better.
Oh, the flat finished ones were brilliant. See the one that I'm pointing at? That was beautiful. The finish on it was just amazing. When you look at the fine details, like you look at the frets and the fret edges and everything was just perfect. Yeah. It was a really nicely finished guitar. It's just a pity we couldn't pick up and play anything neck through.
Well, we could have.
Yeah, but
now we're learning. This is a learning process and how we're going to do this.
Yeah,
maybe we will.
Also, we've got COVID kicking about.
Yeah, I know.
The Fujigen guitars now. These look really interesting, didn't they?
I wasn't, but you quite like that front one. I just went immediately that Telecaster.
It's very Ibanez. It's very kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that telly there was just pure.
But all of the Fujigen guitars, I've been hearing great things about them.
£500. It doesn't seem a lot. That's probably what I'm saying.
Basically the same as Japanese Fender, kind of. In that neighbourhood.
Maybe
better.
I don't know. It's like one of those things. Maybe lesser quality.
Is it the actual Fujigen factory they're made in?
Aye, because I looked in the back.
Right. Okay.
It said I think I'll probably zoom in on it here.
Well, that's where they make prestige guitars. What else do they make in Fujigen? They make some really choice stuff in there.
Yeah, it's not.
And there's the
cheap
port.
anymore.
Manson, and I thought that price was really good. That's really keen.
Yeah, I think I even said that was a Andrew.
Our man, Andrew, would be all over that. I think. What's it with Andrew done? He's got.
He's got the court one, but he's got the Manson sticker on it. I think so. That
is he not done all of the? Is he Manson?
I think he just did a sustainer pickup in it.
Right. Okay.
I think I need to get it back off him. Actually, I think he said there was a
Hi,
problem
how
with
you
it.
doing, by the way?
As I've promised, I've not forgotten about the fact that I do need to. I've just not been anywhere.
Nobody has. Nobody has. Young Andrew.
Not that long ago, but yeah.
He'd be all over that wall. But the BC Rich guitars I thought were great. What is that we're looking at now?
I can't remember, but
can't remember what these are either. But they couldn't have been great because we can't remember what they were.
Yeah, they're quite. They're not super exciting. I mean, I think we're just recovering from the BC Riches. Just
I think we're probably still
because I've seen BC Riches and see the one that looked kind of like slashes.
Yeah,
I remember that one like maybe 10 years ago when that was in like guitar and stuff. It didn't look like that. It was the same colour, but it did that. Just looked at it and it's like
a Brian May guitar. I really got a soft spot for them. It's a shame. The problem is the ones that I've tried so far haven't been that great. I got a shot of one of the Gould ones.
Aye. But these are actually Brian May though.
Oh right, okay, so
he's got his own guitar company to build them. So I mean, I don't know.
See, I don't know if it's maybe that I just don't like his guitar then.
I don't know.
Neck on this one that I tried, the Guild one, was like a baseball bat.
Right, I think that's probably accurate. I can't remember. I knew they made some, and some of them were meant to be really good, and some of them weren't very good. And the ones that were really good were either really good because they were very similar to the real one, or they weren't very good because they played like a normal guitar.
This is these Reverend guitars that are getting a great name just now.
Yeah,
we've got that guy Greg Koch.
I believe it. That's exactly what we're
talking about. Yeah, he's doing the Gristle Master.
Yes,
which is the Telecaster.
Which we see in a minute.
Yeah, we'll see it in a minute.
Definitely. I'm remembering this from when we were around.
Because the thing about that is the body's bigger than a standard Telecaster because Greg Koch is a massive Koch. Yeah, he's really tall is what I mean. He's hugely tall and normal guitars look kind of tiny in his hands. So when he got the guitar designed, he had the body made
to be bigger,
and he called it the Gristle Master, and it's a lovely looking guitar.
Yeah, I think we're about to see it top right here.
Yeah, but the whole range of guitars, I mean, they're very well specified. Is one of the things that you notice. They've all got stainless steel frets. They've all got really nice neckwoods. Quite a lot of them look like roasted maple. There's the Gristle Master there, the very guitar.
Not cheap, but
well, do you know, if you went and looked at a similarly specified Fender, you'd be talking
more,
maybe another grand.
Well,
the pickups, they've got really far ahead out there pickups. So I mean, it's nice to see guitars that have got that kind of technology.
Yeah.
It's not too intrusive.
Yeah.
Like EMG.
It's just like how far away from a how far away from a Telecaster could you get?
Yeah.
And then. Before it's not a Telecaster and it looks horrible, but there is a point where
I do approve, and he's got that flatulence system, the fluence system, and the fluence system. I tried it.
I haven't commented. I can't comment on them.
Do you know it's actually pretty good?
Are they really that different?
Yeah. It's like see when you're playing a bass that's got the ability to switch between an active preamp and just straightforward, and you get that difference between the two where it suddenly becomes a lot more dynamic and a lot more to it. It's the same
when
you switch on the flatulence system.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's not intrusive either, so it doesn't really. I mean, it doesn't require.
It's active,
It's active, but one of the nice things about it is it's a USB thing. So you plug it in like your phone,
charge it,
and it lasts.
It will last forever,
time.
totally.
In between charges, so
and
if it runs out, it doesn't render your guitar useless. Your guitar still just means you don't have the preamp, active preamp. That's what we're probably talking about just now.
No, I think that's news to me. We're talking about something else.
Right, okay.
What we're talking about?
We'll find out. What we'll do.
I think I might have to. I think Janet will go back and look at those BC Riches. The whole time I'm just kind of going.
Me too, but I was quite taken by the Reverend guitars as well. And as I was looking at that orange section,
I'm going to see the amp I sold to Blackfoot Fox now, and it's going to be like £100. It's going to be £170 that I just sold it for.
Which one did you sell?
The MG15.
They're good there.
It's a pretty decent amp. My pal was actually going to. So I got a message that you want this amp, I'm going to throw it in the bin. Doesn't work. So it's probably just scratchy pots. So it was had to the dry solder joint on the bottom of the board and scratchy pots, and it worked fine.
They've got a good selection of small amps and chop boards.
Yeah, chopping boards.
That could be a thing you could do, by the way.
I was basically building them out of guitars out of kitchen worktops.
Well,
So I had chopping boards, just that I continued to make them into guitars.
You could turn around and do a buckfast chopping board. Just give them birth or something.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, how would you? It's just like, after a good bit of chopping, that bit, it's no longer going to have any green paint on it.
No,
I don't know how you'd have to coat it and
somehow
would kind of defeat the purpose of it.
Scrape buckfast on it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Burn
A
buckfast.
Fender what? Oh, it was the Jim Root.
Oh,
dude.
right, yeah.
And it's his new thing, which is
yeah.
much the same as his old thing.
It's a white thing.
With black zebra looking pickups this time.
Yeah. So
Jim Root, is that his name?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think his guitars are his? Because you see quite a lot of his. I've came across a few, and I think you have too. haven't you? People upgrade the pickups quite often.
Yeah, just I had a Chipson. I've actually what did I do with those EMG pickups? They're proper genuine EMG, proper EM, with the proper covers on them and stuff, and they just like
straight back to the look. We're back.
I'm thinking, look
at that.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, to see them in person, they were very nice.
Yes, well, I do like the BC Rich, and it's like, but the ones I've seen have always been sort of never quite as fancy as that. I never pulled off as fancy as that.
Well, see, the thing is when you look at guitars like that, the way we're looking at them there up close, it's when all of the wee flaws jump out, but there weren't any.
Yeah.
The prices, I mean, I can see why people are balking at them, but if you look at a similarly specified Fender
Or anything.
then
you can
that's got that level of stuff on it, it's going to be around about that price. And look at them. That white one just does nothing.
See, I just start a band. I'll have the burled maple one, or whatever it is. It was very, very 3D. Beautiful.
Those things that look as if they've melted at the end.
They
really do look like you've put it down somewhere too hot, and it's just.
I was like, and at some point it was an RD artist when they took a photo before it melted to that. Yeah, there's actually a guy I know, Stephen Goodward, over in Alloa selling Reka guitars just now. You seen it? He's got like, I don't know, maybe 8 or something like that. It's like a Glary Telecaster.
Yeah, I have.
Like he's got a couple at 50 quid, a couple at like 70 quid, a couple at 100 quid, and he's got a Bult bass, which is 75 quid, which is like an RD artist. It looks pretty nice.
This is back at looking at the details. But yeah, when you look at the details of that guitar and you look at the routing work on the headstock and all of the stuff that's on it for the price, it looks amazing. Yeah, it really does.
I would totally be tempted to get.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming across one of them.
Yeah, I think they've been about for quite a while, because I remember seeing a video when I first where these guitars made, maybe about 8-10 years ago, and there was a YouTube video around a factory tour, and it's for FGN guitars, and it was like, I've never heard of them, and then it was like, they must have disappeared because this video's 2002 or something, or 2005.
It's also a sign of a decent guitar that if people like us don't really get to see them, because not much goes wrong with them. Do you know what I mean? they don't really break, so we don't see them.
It was like, I'm going to upgrade the pickups. So that's the same. Like, it depends what kind of guitars you buy.
What was that? That was the Petrucci.
Petrucci with the heart in it.
And it was hugely expensive, wasn't it? It was monstrously expensive. Yes, it was the most expensive guitar in the shop. And again, it's, I don't know. I like the.
There's the ones with before I'd thought of the bottle opener and the top idea.
Right, okay.
I think that's a hideous guitar. I don't like them at all. I actually prefer the Buckycaster.
Do you know what?
And look to those ones.
Kind of grew on me. The whole Eddie Van Halen thing. When I first saw it, I was like you, a bit horrified. But the thing was that he embraced it and played it live and all the rest of it. Right up to.
I'm not talking about how quality is. I'm just talking about the actual look of it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think it's for some reason the fancy tops on them make them look pure terrible.
There's that wee Boss Katana. It seems expensive for a tiny wee thing. Do you know what I mean? But I've heard that the noise that comes out of them's pleasing. Okay, it depends what you're trying to record. All right. Yeah. So that was that. Was that all of it? Have we got anything else? Dinner? Was it kebabs? How can we have a kebab when we don't have the shawarma king? I can't beat that. Anyhow, rock on. We'll see how this gets stitched up. No, if you look at how many guitars we look at every week. Yes. Looking at guitar pages like me, I'm looking at eBay, I'm looking at Gumtree, I'm looking at I've got alerts set up for new adverts going up in Gumtree. So if anyone puts an advert up that has the word guitar in it.
Really? I've kind of given up with Gumtree. I've not.
Well, do you know what? I've stopped.
The thing about Gumtree is I used to look at it every half hour just because the app used to work really well on my phone, and then it stopped working really well on my phone.
It just got to be annoying, to be honest with you, having my phone ringing at me all the time telling me there's guitars for sale. It's expensive. Yeah. It's not a cheap thing. No. Well, do you know what? I'm actually glad that my kids have taken after me with this thing because they don't have enough money left over to buy drugs. They really don't.
I've heard that joke before.
Yes. It's true.
Yeah.
Certainly it is true. I mean, when I was growing up, I spent all of my money on guitar stuff.
I think, to be honest, I might have been the same.
Well, as an adult as well. Yeah. If Andy said, when you walk into my house, it's like this house. Kinda, there's guitars everywhere.
We're getting guitars that are good value.
Well, they're decent in it. They're kind of arty looking on the wall, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, then, when you think about it from that point, it's look at that.
Oh no, I can't. I
just completely sidetracked.
Oh, this is
This is at the Shawarma King in Glasgow, which has got to be the best kebab shop in the world.
Yes, actually, if I go back a video,
it's just amazing. Look it up on the YouTube. It's Shawarma, SWARMA,
Shawarma King
in Glasgow, and it's just amazing. The
food's incredible. Sorry, this is it. This is outside of here. I'm going to use these as sneaky previews in the videos anyway. But that's outside.
It doesn't look much from the outside. It really doesn't.
It does. I love
it's got that massive thing.
It's got a massive billboard that's part of the shop, so that no matter how steaming you are, you can just stand and you can see, and it's got a big picture of what it is, and there's only about 10 things on it. They all look good.
And if you're kind of COVID worried, it's really quite handy as well, because what you do is you go into the shop one at a time, and you place your order, and you stand outside, and they shout out your number.
Yes, and if you but no, they just tell somebody whoever's in the queue to shout the number outside.
So it gets passed along anyway. But the key to it is you always look for the person who goes in just before you. Just keep your eye on them, and you know they're going to get theirs, you're going in to get yours.
Totally.
But see the bread and everything they make, it's all made fresh. It's not like they pull it out of packets and stuff. There's a guy at the back of the shop making dough and turning it into these pita breads with a big looks like a chapati type thing with shoves them inside the oven.
Yeah, but they kind of come rolled up, and you did the right thing, but you took it out the paper and put it into the wee poly bag.
Well, that's
and I was in town seeing Rob the 2 days after this. And I got the guy who taught me to get in the big one. I probably said on the last billboard how much of it.
What we've got is I've got a chicken shawarma, and you've got a mixed. It's lamb and chicken, but it's all really fresh and it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's great.
And the big one's worth it, and you can eat the big one in the car as well. I was just thinking sometimes a kebab's not the sort of thing you can eat driving.
£5.50 for the large mixed shawarma, and it's like the size of your forearm. It's huge. Yeah. There's lots and lots of meat in there to eat.
Yeah, but it's still just. I think it's still the same bread.
It's not massively greasy either, which is amazing.
No.
I hate going to kebab shops and you get to the bottom of the kebab and it's just a big pile of yucky grease.
We can say the racist thing on this. If you just look for all the people that kind of.
Well, do you know what? It's a good sign if you go to like one of these kind of places and it's full of the people who. I mean, it's lots of kind of.
I don't think. Do you know,
it's so
not folk originally from Glasgow.
It's actually Lebanese. The guys that own it are from Libya.
Right. So anyone like that, right?
It's lots of that community all actually congregate around that shop, so you know it's a good sign that the food's going to be amazing. Yeah. And obviously they're lovely. The people that serve you are great. We're in the ice house now.
Yes. Icebox.
Ice house.
I couldn't remember what it was called. I think it was Ice House though.
Yeah, the Icebox, which is a venue and a bookshop and a pet food bank.
It's the first time I've been in there. It was very good.
A baby food bank, believe it or not. We need such a thing in these days. But they're such a good organisation, and they sell books and records and CDs at amazing prices. So
I think.
They're in the Gorbals in Glasgow. If you type in the name of the venue, Icebox. Into your Google machine, Glasgow, it'll take you straight to them. Yeah,
I was just a wee bit. I hadn't yet worked out. I wish I'd gone look through these records before we'd gone through the back and talked to the guys, because then I would have been out and bought some of these. It's just that you look at it when they don't have prices on them, you think.
Well, some of them do, but what they do is they've got an online shop, so the prices are different. So when you go into the shop, everything's kind of.
Also, are these online?
They're all online as well.
Right. These ones, right.
They've all got prices on them that reflect what they're being sold for online. But if you go and speak to the people there, You get a discount on the day, which is brilliant.
Like, I was just worried about going up and there was a Cat Stevens album I looked at and I was just
Well, do you know what they've got? It's really good actually. That's quite handy. It's not guitar related. If you've got kids, they've got free books and free all sorts of stuff. They've got a kids corner and the kids just go and help themselves. So there's no pressure. You just go in and point to it, and they can go and lift whatever book or toy is lying there. And if they want to take it home, they can take it home. Yeah. That was the Cat Stevens record I was looking at. Yeah. I just didn't want them to say it was 15 quid, and it's like, which is probably worth, to be honest. I was like, they sell clothes as well. They've got a big. If you go into the back, it's a venue, as well as a clothes shop. They've got clothes racks all over. I do. This video does run long enough. I don't know if I'll be able to put this video out because it's not. The sound's bad. I don't think we're really talking about anything at this point. I'm just looking through records. But they have gigs in here all the time, and it's a bring your own bottle establishment. So what you do is you pay corkage, and it's like £3.5 quid, £4, and that's you taking a bottle of bucky. Taking whatever. Don't go mad. Obviously, you want to be respectful. Yeah. But they've got but they've got fridges and stuff like that, so you can keep your booze cold whilst you're watching your gig. And if you're in a band, any of you guys out there in a band, if you go and talk to them as well, you can hire it out as a venue, and it's very, very reasonable. I mean, you're not going to get a better deal anywhere else. It's not going to be like a pay-to-pay night. It's not too far away either, is it? No, it's right on the outskirts of town. It's technically. It's not. I'm just thinking, it's like if you're trying to walk from Central Station, how long are you actually talking? Or from Central Station, 10 minutes walk. But I mean, you can get a bus. I mean, it's right next to. It's not just to the Nautical College. Well, it faces the Nautical College. Yeah, but the Nautical College is just on this side of the Clyde, or is it a block in? It's like 3 blocks. Or would you call it 3 blocks? Bridge Street is the nearest subway station. I think it's Bridge Street. Oh, right. Isn't it just round the corner? I don't know. That kind of looks onto Citizens Theatre. It is behind. Oh, right. Of course, that would be a bit closer. You've got the mosque, and you've got all sorts of stuff around. It's not really. If you look at it, I'm just looking at it from the point when I was like at uni walking about. It's like if you're going from like Victor Morris. To the other side where the other Victor Morris shop used to be, you're kind of almost there. Actually, it's not far from there. It's just on the outskirts of town, and one of the nice things is it's got parking. Yeah, it's good to get parking outside. Parking, so you can park right outside the shop and go in and do all of your stuff. I suppose one of the things. Great. See if it had Sharma King was just right outside it, I would just live there. It'd be awesome. If that was the case, everybody in that shop would be getting moved around in wheelbarrows. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the staff are lovely. See if you look at their webpage, their Facebook page, it's really funny. The commentary is hilarious. They reckon they're haunted, so there's lots of commentary about the poltergeist that throws books at them. And all of the drunken shenanigans that goes on in that building. Look at the really expensive funny. DVDs. I can't remember. Was I going to see it? I just didn't read it. Was it 20? Was it 20 for a tenner or something? Something stupid. Well, the thing is they go to the bother of checking inside the boxes to make sure that they're not rubbish. You know what I mean? So everything that's on their shelves is good. Yeah. I suppose the thing is, you buy the 20 DVDs for a tenner. You like one or two of them. You decide you're going to keep it. You take the rest, just donate the rest back, don't you? That's this is the surprising part. You think it's just that wee bit at the back, and then you open a curtain and it's a big gigantic venue. Yeah. With a big massive PDA at one end of it. This is actually in the railway arches, but the building is actually in front of the railway arches, but they've got the railway arch behind it. And behind where he is just now, they've got a big massive bar area which has got all of the fridges for bringing your own booze folk. I never saw that. But they also sell all your mixers as well. Yeah. There you go. There's Simon. And these are the records that are 50p each because the covers were ripped, so they couldn't really put them in line. We had to look at the AC/DC ones, and the vinyls were perfect, weren't they? Should have bought that. I didn't change. We didn't either. We were blethering to everybody. Everybody's really interesting. It's one of these places where everybody is actually interesting. Actually, I wonder if I haven't actually watched this. I wonder if you got pure noticed and recognised. Well, you can. You said it's like pure. This is Malko does the Bucky casters. And it's like I've heard of them, and then some guy came out from the side and gave me a hug. Thanks for. I saw your thing with a 150 sound guitar. Oops. Well, it's they've got everything in there. Fame. It was quite funny when it was quite funny when he's like, "Pure, you Mad Malko," and it's like I've literally got Mad Malko written on my chest and Mad Malko on my face mask. But lots of rock and roll stories. It was really, really good. The guys are all really nice, approachable people. It's not like that guitar, the Tron porn. Yeah. With the Jabba the Hutt guy. It's not really the same place. No. It's a good more records. Records for 50p, but it's like. Really, I don't think I've got. But you know, see the causes that they have, the causes that they support, they've been amazing all the way through this COVID malarkey. They've been really good support to a whole community of people. has been doing web shows and webcasts to do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
We were talking.
I do like the idea of doing a gig in there. Oh, talking about the swap shop
I
idea.
doing a swap shop.
I wonder how many people. I don't know how many people have got this far into this video, or whether I'm going to be able to put this. Because the mic was leaning over there, but
you wonder. I think a swap shop type idea would work, where people who would just bring along the stuff that they might be interested in trading or selling or swapping.
Couple of guitars, but not necessarily turning up with a £2,500 Les Paul. Let's talk about guitars that are.
You can if you want to sell it to someone, and somebody else wants to turn up and buy it for that.
I suppose.
But you're not paying shop prices then. But I think it'd be a good idea. Just once a quarter, even every 3 months. Once every 3 months.
Well, I think it'd be interesting. So I think it would be an interesting video. I think people would come just to be. Let There Be Rock for 50 pence. And it's like, the reason I didn't buy it is because I've got Let There Be Rock, and I feel that some kids might buy Let There Be Rock and get Let There Be Rock.
You're the same as me. I don't buy doubles in
and
case
pure
I'm
love it.
doing something out yet.
Well, that's it.
But they were in good condition, which was a surprise.
The covers were stained up.
Yeah.
So that was what the guy said.
One of the problems with the venue is that they keep getting flooded. Every time there's torrential rain, they end up with torrential rain indoors as well.
That would kind of explain quite a lot of that, actually. No, that was the end of that video. So that's probably the only time I can really put that out. You couldn't really hear anything. We weren't talking. But I do like the idea of some sort of swap shop, and then possibly some sort of, used to talk about an open-ended jam thing where you can come along, swap your guitar, and then get a shop playing the guitar you swapped it for a wee bit, and then hear whoever it was you swapped it with, your old guitar being played, or have a jam playing your new. There be two of you. I'll go in there, we'll swap a guitar with each other, and we'll have a bit of a jam, and you'll be playing my old guitar and I'll be playing your old guitar.
Have a booth set up with your camera ready.
Yes.
And do reviews of guitars live.
Oh.
Your guitar's shite, mate. You get two, have like a curtain thing, like a fortune teller, have two tents, one with me in it for the camera and one with you in the camera. The conditions are
you get a 50-50 chance which one gets.
I get to do at least one or two.
Yeah, no, you get a 50-50 chance, and you just get folk coming out of mine like that, pure folk coming out of your pure in tears like that. I just swapped. No. So how much do you want for your Strat? Well, I came in here thinking it was worth 500. I'll give you it for 45 quid.
You got a tenner. Yeah, look at that. That's fucking madness.
It's got to be deal varnish or something, or epoxy. Or
epoxy glue. You'd think you'd make it nice though, rather than just dollop it all in.
I don't know.
Very clever.
It's very important. It's obviously super, whatever that is, epoxy. Just like that's.
Yeah, my Stratoblaster's all written on all over the place with ultraviolet pen. Inside the cavities, I mean.
All right.
Yeah, you get them. You buy them off the internet. You can get them off the police station for free.
Yes, I've definitely. I've got a lot of things that are UV thingy because I had a UV pen because I've got a black light bulb that I bought one time for. See, like the wee keyboard I've got up there, the painted monotron thing. That it's UV paint goes mental.
What did I do with your flashlight? Where did I put it?
I don't know. To be honest, I lost it for so many times. Then I found it before I went down to Waynestock and lost it there. It's there. It's there. My solitaire later. Anyhow, let's get started thinking about having something to eat. Oh my god. Hey Jim, out in the car. This is the bit I'm always doing videos for. Like now I can actually turn the camera around and we'll try not to. So this is coming up to. And I'm in Scott's car, so I'm not driving. That's why I can look round. This is a bit I'm always talking about. So this is me. I had to walk home that from Rabs up last time we did. We played cards. I had to walk away all the way along this way on the right, and there's no street. Oh, I'm going to say there's no street lights right at the bit where there's two street lights. There's like two, and it's all that distance there is all pitch dark. And there's in the middle of the night. This is rush hour. That's why there are other cars on the roads. So I think two cars passed me, and it was pure terrifying. Okay, there's another street light, but there's a big bit here where you're going across.
Dark. It's in the middle.
Yeah, but this is the bit where I did one of the videos I started. Hey, look, sheeps. Aye, and that side's just cyclists bastards. And there's a cycle track just over there, which is nice, to the side of a river.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite.
This is actually a lovely bit of the world. It really is.
It's amazing how not far away from being the centre of everywhere this is.
Yeah.
it's only this bit, but this is the bit I was walking along. See, right? I was saying it was pitch dark the entire time, apart from when 2 cars passed. So just when I was walking down this bit past Lidl, I met a guy at the first lamppost walking towards me. A beardy guy, like what do you call it, a hipster, just at that lamppost. But I just walked that lamppost there, so all that distance there after it, we'd have been walking both along in pitch dark, and you could have probably heard the other person breathing or footsteps, and you couldn't see anything. No, the thing that made it even worse was I was like sitting there bored, so it's like miles to walk. It's pretty straight. I'll just go on my phone and see if any messages shows like that. I've not really got a good signal, so and then I'd obviously been looking at a white screen, and as soon as I put it in my pocket, it was just absolutely pitch dark.
What is this area called?
This is East Side in Kirkintilloch. Yes, this is Lidl, and that's McDonald's, and we're going straight on. Straight through.
Yeah, I've eaten at that before. Do you know I've done a gig here before? I've done a couple of gigs.
Barless and stuff. Yeah. Right, yeah.
That's the place with all the windows back of you, so just it's crazy.
So I'm going to point out a wee bit here which I can do in the car. See, there's a gap here between the houses where one of them's been knocked down. My dad bought his first Mini in that gap, which used to be waste ground when he was a wee boy, like 50, 60 years ago, and it sat in there for 6 months, and it like moss grown on it left, and moss grown on it, and that's when he bought his first ever car, and it was an original Mini, and it had a salt tyre painted on the roof. I don't know if he painted it on the roof.
Which way now?
Straight up the hill. That's what Peg's mum calls it, the magic roundabout. So I forget what it is. That's a Kirky Mahal, which is okay. It's good, but after the shawarma things, it's not shawarma. Yeah. So this is sometimes this is closed, which is really annoying because this is a canal. And I put my wee. This road spins. So just over there, I launched my wee orange boat I've got for 30 quid with the 2 horsepower on it myself, and then went for a run up that way and a run up that way, straight on.
Follow that green car.
Yeah, you just kind of go until it gets a bit boring. Yeah. When you go that direction, there's nothing. My pal Michael just lives there, and there's a big slope, and then it's about 200 yards walk down a wee path, like the old tow path, and then you can launch it from there. If you're at his, we did that.
What's this place called?
This is I think this is Hairstains now. Yeah. There's a Catholic church at the top of the hill where my pal Jean got married. It's kind of this is my chip shop delivery area. I used to know this place. That's Maigret's. They used to do 2 bottles of Bucky for 11 quid or something like that. My pals used to always make the point of coming there.
That's quite expensive, isn't it?
Not now. It's been bought over now, but no, not bottles of Bucky.
Bucky, I just thought about wine.
Oh, wine. Well, I don't know, the minimum pricing. Someone was talking to me about that the other night.
I think we should try this. It was me. I think we should try that. It should be an experimental night where I feed you really strong coffee and just ordinary wine.
Right, and see if it's the same as Bucky.
I think it might be.
If you could time lapse film it.
A bit classier, maybe. You can put your pinky out when you're drinking the coffee.
Oh, right. So, coffee and red. Well,
drink coffees in between. You have a glass of wine and then a really strong cup of coffee. Just a wee one, like a wee espresso. And it's the same.
What you should do is
roughly the same as breakfast.
Yeah, rather than having a glass of wine, I'll just get a marker pen and put lines on it. Look at that one.
He's tuned to the wind, look at that. See that?
Tuned to the wind.
He's on the pool.
There's a wee one-way bit here.
Am I going in?
No, you're going straight on. Let's do this giveaway. Shit, you're fucking taking it. I was thinking about it. So that's Hairstains, there's the Campsies.
I think he just...
Did he? Oh, I missed it.
Down here?
Should have no straight on. It's just right. Sorry, I'm not paying any attention. It's right here, and then
follow this white car.
Follow this white car, and then that's it in there. So this is the new Sahiwal, which we're going to get a Bombay. I said Express because I keep calling it a Bombay Bad Boy. I'm sure they would have known what I meant. Sometimes a bit of a thing to get in here.
Is that what it was? Bombay Bad Boy.
Bombay Bad Boys are Port Noodle, but it's Bombay. Oops. Yeah, but you know what? Straight on. That's the Sahiwal.
Blind.
Kebabs, curries. Oh no, you have to park on the left there because it's. I think. And these are Kirky folks, so careful. Got a pizza. Now going to go to Diddly D. For some juice. And that's bad parking. Yeah, so that's Mecklen Shopping Centre, this place is called. It's Michael's Super Chippy. Well, it's actually just called Fish and Chips at Michael. Go there. And left.
Back to where we came
Back to where we came from.
Sort of.
Not quite, there's a wee bit of a one-way system at one point, but it's left here. My dad used to live in that house right there, and it was amazing for going to the Saiwan and getting chicken pakora. Yeah. Look, it's actually quite a nice night.
It is, it's registered as 22 degrees outside temperature.
That's not bad, and it's about 7 o'clock at night.
25 past 7.
25 past 7.
Hill's looking rather resplendent.
Yeah. The Campsie Fells. My pal Andy was going to be in a band. I think we're going to call the band the Campsies, and it's like sounds a bit like the Camps, or not like the Cramps. It sounds a bit camp.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like you'd be like a group of guys that were like the Bonhoeffers in some way.
Used to have lived in there as well. That used to be a carrot shop. It's now not. I bought. See the Bucky Telecaster. That house there on the end's the one I bought it in. That one there. It wasn't a Bucky Telecaster when I bought it. That actually turned out quite a good guitar. That wee jelly. So we're just kind of going back.
Slow you down.
It's annoying, isn't it? I think to
slow you down. It's annoying.
They did, yeah. You used to be able to belt along here at 50, no bother. It's like killing folk and all that. Yeah, who needs to be able to see anyway?
That pizza smells great, man.
That's good. Bombay Express. Magrets. That's where I got my bucky for. Not last Sunday's live stream because I got given that, but the night before I went and tried to get bucky on Friday night, and they didn't have any bucky in Milk McCapsey, the two shops.
The other stuff that you drink?
Synatogen? No.
Synatogen?
LD?
No. Jamaican, wee tiny.
Oh, the
Magnum. What is that?
It's
Me and my son were looking at it online. What is that? What is that?
I should have bought some today. I forgot. It tastes almost exactly like Benylin.
So it's like cough medicine?
Yes, it tastes almost, but it's 17.5%. And the reason you only get it in wee bottles is because if you put it in a big bottle, you would just die. I think.
I'm gonna go straight
down the hill. Yeah. That's
Quite a nice view.
Someone, I did the walk to pick up my car for the MOT. Someone was commenting, it's nice seeing all the old buildings. We're not in. There's not very many old buildings in the new bit. But I say new.
Looking ahead, it's nice.
Yeah. So here's the bridge that goes up the
Spinny Bridge.
The Spinny Bridge. And there's a wee bit of a basin there. Aye. It's quite nice. And I guarantee if you walk between there and Main Street, which is maybe a couple hundred yards, there will be at least one floating bottle of bucky. I've never walked along the canal or been out in a boat in the canal and not seen a floating empty bottle of bucky. Right, you want to go right to this wee roundabout down here?
Right.
Yeah. It's one way. That way, yeah. It's fun. Drive past the Kirky Mahal.
Jeez, it's really wee tight bendy corner.
Yeah. So this is east side.
Cars far.
Yeah.
It's a bike shop, maybe.
East garage. Used to all be units then left at this roundabout. And that left.
That way.
That left.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Sure we're doing the right
The one if you're thinking you're playing Tony Iommi's guitar, that way round. The one you strum with.
Right, I kind of think I know where we are.
Yeah, this is McDonald's. This is got to follow that wee car there. Really interesting here. I do remember actually in that. This is a filter lane that somebody might. He can go. He's going right. There's always a queue at McDonald's. Always a queue at McDonald's. There's not a queue at McDonald's. There's only one car.
How far into... I'm going to jump in here and get some soft drinks.
Cool.
But how far into...
View on the way home.
It's really nice.
Yeah. This is the bit I had to walk all the way along in pitch darkness, and I was basically just walking on the road on that white line because it's the only thing I could see. Good fun. Yeah, it's good.
It's beautiful. It really is. Really nice.
This thing is mental. This is not one of the nice bits of Scotland, by the way. It's like, no, it's not. It's nice, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, it's not the most.
This is 500 yards away from my house, as opposed to once you get up to those hills, sort of thing. That's pretty cool. Whatever's on the other side. Birdston. And the bit where I did the hiding behind a tree was on the railway line that just ends right there. Just used to be a bridge. Hundreds of years ago.
What's this wee village as a name for this?
Burston. And that's where it was about there that I took off the jumper I'd borrowed from Rab, because I thought I could just wear a t-shirt and be fine, but I borrowed a jumper because it was shit that it was there. I took it off, tied it around my waist, and then had to walk all this bit in pitch dark. Yeah, it doesn't seem far. It's sort of when you're driving along, it only takes 2 minutes.
Right in the countryside, you get proper dark though.
Yes, well that's what I mean here. There's no street lights and there's no
moonlight.
no.
It's pitch
Well, especially not in that direction. There's nothing on top of those hills. So in that direction, I suppose you get a little bit of lights from Glasgow and towns and stuff, but in that direction there's no.
There's old mangy houses in here.
That they're all the new the Cala homes. They're all new. So it used to be a longer walk. This is a bit where I always turn it off in case people can trace back